This is the future.
Hi, Excalibur has been the favorite poster boy of Warframe, not because he's a better ninja than Ash, but because he is more of a newbie-friendly Warframe that can turn into a monster at mid to high level plays with his exalted blade. When we talk about damage output, the name Excalibur will always be mentioned in the list. But we are not here to talk about any chromatic blade Excalibur build, as that's too overrated, and over the past years, many things have been added to Warframe that the extra status chance of chromatic blade became unnecessary. Yes, you heard it right. Chromatic blade augment for Excalibur is kind of obsolete at the moment, and instead of being an asset to your build, it becomes a liability and a waste of a mod slot. One reason is that we can easily obtain over 100% status chance with dual status chance mods and the Acolyte mod called Weeping Wounds in our melee weapon. But Squad Leader, we can't use Weeping Wounds on Excalibur. That's correct, but that doesn't mean that we can't apply status using primer weapons like the Cedo or the Kuvanuka to make good use of condition overload in our Exalted Blade. In fact, there's no need to put any status chance mod in Exalted Blade, nor put chromatic blade in your Excalibur, since you can just apply multiple status in a group of enemies using Levos signature shotgun Cedo. This free up mod space for your Excalibur, which you can use for extra range, power strength, or even more efficiency in your build. And also, this allows you to focus on building for damage in your Exalted Blade. With that being said, it is now wise to stay away from any chromatic blade augment and look for something that will further boost the damage, or even the survivability of Excalibur. Before we continue, I would like to remind you that what you will see and hear in this video are only suggestions, and I don't intend to preach what you need to do in the game. Take these as a piece of friendly advice on what you should do to improve your Excalibur build. Don't refer to this video as a Bible, and instead, use it as a reference in creating your own playstyle for Excalibur. I don't know if you have checked out my most updated Excalibur build, but so far, I'm still having a good time playing that build without the need for any chromatic blade setup. Take note that we will be using Excalibur Umbra for this guide, because he got built-in Umbral slot compared to the regular and the prime version of Excalibur. I'm not saying that you can't use the other variant of this Warframe, it's just, Excalibur Umbra will take less former spend. But you need to farm him through the sacrifice quest though, which I consider to be one of the best quests in Warframe. So anyway, the most updated build I have for Excalibur right now is this, but we can further improve this with a couple of things that we will discuss later. This ability will give you the luxury of one-shotting even higher level enemies like Steel Path missions with your Exalted Blade. How to do it? Simple. First, you just need to apply status to the enemies using your Cedo, and after that, just murder them all using your Exalted Blade. If that is not enough damage, then you can add the stealth damage multiplier bonus given by your second ability, which makes this overall setup overkill without the need for a chromatic blade build. And then, we can push it further with the Furious Javelin augment. If you are looking for more damage, then go for Furious Javelin instead of chromatic blade. This augment does temporarily increases Excalibur's melee damage for every enemy hit by Radial Javelin. In my case, I'm able to boost my melee damage by 260+% using Furious Javelin, and it will stay active for about 23 seconds with this build. I can further boost and make this overkill build more overkill by adding Arcane Fury in my Arcane slot. However, I choose Arcane Guardian for survivability. The Ensnare setup I have shown you earlier was a good Helminth combo, but intended only for camping purposes. I don't advise you to use it in solo missions, since you will have some problems with survivability. Instead of Ensnare, you can subsume the new Gloom ability and replace Excalibur's first ability. Gloom is a good choice for Excalibur since it allows you to slow enemies, giving Excalibur control over the battlefield. And it also gives you lifesteal for survivability. Having lifesteal in your ability will free up some space in your Exalted Umbra Blade, so you can further push its damage by adding more damage, or critical damage mods. The only thing that you should consider using this setup in solo plays is that you have two abilities that consume energy per seconds. To manage that, you must have at least Arcane Energize, and remember that it's all about kill speed. The more you kill enemies faster, the easier you can maintain the energy of this setup with both Arcane Energize and the energy orbs dropped by enemies. If you are still having problems, then simply swap Streamline for either Hunter Adrenaline or Rage in your build. The Excalibur Umbra build I have shown you earlier has decent armor value which allows you to tank a couple of hits and regain your energy with Hunter Adrenaline. So that's all about it guys. Chromatic Blade is obsolete for Excalibur right now. There are better builds and setup you can do with this frame for insane damage, beginning with the ones I have shown in this video. I hope that you have learned something from this guide and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.
Evolution. This is the future.